Welcome back to the E-Scholars. Before starting off with the poem, let me tell you a little about the poet John Keats. He was a British Romantic poet. Although trained to be a surgeon, Keats gave up medicine and decided to devote himself wholly to poetry. Although he died at a very early age of 25, he left a great work behind him, and you will find the principle of beauty in almost all his poems. Typically a romantic poet, he emphasized extreme emotions through natural imagery. His poems and letters remain among the most popular in English literature. Some of the prominent works are Ode to a Nightingale, Ode on a Grecian Urn, Sleep and Poetry, and the sonnet on first looking into Chapman's Homer. Keats' ability and talent were acknowledged several years later after his death. His admirers praised him for being more voluptuously alive than any poet who had come before him. The following is an excerpt from his poem Endymion. The poem is based on a Greek legend in which Endymion, a young, handsome shepherd who lived in Mount Latmus, had a vision of Cynthia, the moon goddess. The enchanted youth resolved to seek her out and wandered away through the forests and down under the sea. Now let us understand what the poet is trying to convey through this poem. According to John Keats, the beauties of nature are everlasting, be it the sun, the moon, the trees, the beautiful daffodil flowers, the green woods, clear rills, the blooming musk roses, and the list seems endless. He sees beauty in all the natural things. According to him, they make a lasting impression on us and bring joy and happiness in our lives. You may have seen that we humans tend to find happiness in the smallest of things, such as the sunset, sunrise, a butterfly fluttering over a beautiful flower, or floating clouds, sparkling trees, or a bright rainbow on a rainy day. All these small, small things bring happiness in our lives in some way or the other. On gloomy and sad days, these things of beauty bring us happiness, and we tend to forget sorrows and worries for a while. Just taking a stroll or going out for a walk when you're feeling a bit low will enlighten the mood. Just seeing the green trees or the lovely shades of colors in the sky at sunset, or a clear night sky filled with twinkling stars, or just a simple small flower will definitely bring a smile on your face, how much ever gloomy or sad. The poet is trying to say that when we see things of beauty, they make a lasting impression on us and they give us joy and happiness. Means it is a source of everlasting joy. Its loveliness increases. Its beauty keeps on increasing every moment. It will never pass into nothingness. Never pass into nothingness means its beauty will not fade or decline or diminish. In other words, you can say that a thing of beauty will never ever be devalued, but will keep a bower quiet for us. Bower is a pleasant place in the shade under a tree which provides us with shelter, peace, and security. The bower is a pleasant place in the shade under a tree which provides us shelter, security, and so the poet is trying to tell us that a bower, which is a pleasant place in the shade under a tree, provides us with shelter, security, and peace, as well as a sound sleep, full of sweet dreams, good health, and peaceful and quiet breathing. According to the poet John Keats, there is an unbreakable bond which binds us to the earth. The poet is trying to tell here that the things of beauty are like wreaths of beautiful flowers. They are like wreaths of beautiful flowers. A wreath is an arrangement of flowers and leaves in the shape of a circle, traditionally hung on doors at Christmas. So the poet is trying to tell us that the things of beauty are like wreaths of beautiful flowers. We seem to weave a flowery band every day. We seem to weave a flowery band every day. So a thing of beauty such as a flowery band keeps our will to stay alive in spite of being despondent. Now, the word despondence means feeling a bit dejected or depressed or discouraged. The poet is trying to tell us that the things of beauty, such as flowery band, give us joy and happiness, and they keep our will to stay alive in spite of being despondent, in spite of lack of humanity, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over-darkened ways. Now, many a times humans fall prey to evil and unhealthy practices. The poet also stresses the point that the man himself is the root cause of all his sufferings. His own actions bring sorrows and sufferings to him. At times, we humans resort to evil and unhealthy ways which give birth to so many troubles. They dampen our spirits. But a thing of beauty provides a ray of hope and works wonders amid these sorrows and sufferings. The things of beauty give us inspiration, hope, and optimism to overcome these challenges, and they remove the pall of despondence from our dark spirits and bring joy and happiness in our lives. Thus, we can say that these things of beauty are a boon for all the human beings. So, according to the poet, the trees provide a shady shelter, which is a boon for simple sheep. Daffodils bloom in the woods green. The rills or the small streams of clear water are a cool shelter for themselves during the hot summer, and the mid-forest brake looks even more beautiful and grand with the blooming of musk roses. And such too is the grandeur of the dunes we have imagined for the mighty dead, all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring onto us from the heavens breath. The mighty dead refers to the great and inspiring people whose stories have been written. Their stories are read and admired even today and are a great source of inspiration. So the poet is trying to tell us that there is as much glory in the dead as there is in the living. We get inspiration from their past mighty deeds. So the poet is trying to tell us that these people who are dead, whose stories are so inspiring, they are also like things of beauty. And he further describes the nature as an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring onto us from the heaven's brink. He describes the nature as an endless fountain which pours into our hearts from heaven's brink, as he sees the nature as an everlasting gift given to us by God. So the poet tries to tell us in the whole poem that these things of beauty are everlasting and they bring joy and happiness in our lives. Okay, now let's do the questions. List the things of beauty mentioned in the poem. The things of beauty are the sun, the moon, the trees, the daffodils, green woods, clear rills, and the mid-forest brake with musk roses. The second question is list the things that cause suffering and pain. The man himself is the root cause of all his sufferings. His own actions bring sorrows and sufferings to him. Disappointment, sorrows, and distress also causes suffering and pain. Plus, the human also resorts to evil and unhealthy ways which give birth to many troubles and they dampen our spirits. All these things cause suffering and pain. The third question is what does the line, therefore are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to earth, suggest to you? According to the poet John Keats, there is an unbreakable bond which binds us to the earth. The things of beauty are like wreaths of beautiful flowers. We seem to weave a flowery band every day. A thing of beauty like a flowery band keeps our will to stay alive in spite of being despondent, and it keeps us attached to the beauties of this earth. The poet is trying to tell us that in spite of being sad and gloomy, these things of beauty, they give us joy and happiness, and we tend to forget our sorrows and pain for a while. They remove the pall of despondence from our dark spirits and bring joy and happiness in our lives. The fourth question is what makes human beings love life in spite of troubles and suffering? The things of beauty give us inspiration, hope, and optimism to overcome these challenges and remove the pall of despondence and bring joy and happiness in our lives. They work wonders amongst these sorrows and sufferings. The fifth question is why is grandeur associated with the mighty dead? The mighty dead refers to the great and inspiring people about whom grand stories have been written. These stories are read and admired even today and are a source of great inspiration to many. The poet is trying to tell us that there is as much glory in the dead as there is in the living. We get inspiration from their past mighty deeds. That's why the grandeur is associated with the mighty dead. The sixth question is do we experience things of beauty only for short moments, or do they make a lasting impression on us? A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its beauty increases every moment. It never fades, it declines, or diminishes. In other words, we can say that the thing of beauty is never ever devalued. So naturally, the things of beauty make a lasting impression on us. What image does the poet use to describe the beautiful bounty of the earth? The poet describes the beautiful bounty of the earth as an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring onto us from the heavens' brink, as the poet sees the nature as an everlasting gift given to us by God. Thus, the poet describes the nature as an endless fountain of immortal drink which pours into our hearts from the heavens' brink.